My name is Bennett McDowell with TradersCoach.com. Great to have you here. So on the Trader's Assistant, he's asking, how do I know if it's activated? Do I have to put in an activation key? Well, the Trader's Assistant is kind of a program that runs on its own, but in order for it to run at all, it has to already have been licensed. So if you're seeing what I'm seeing here, whether it's big or small, okay, depending on if you open the window up, large, or keep it small, you can't get to this screen at all if it's not licensed. So in order to even open the Trader's Assistant and see what you see here, it's licensed and activated, okay? So you don't have to worry about that. And if it's not activated, the first time you open it up, it will ask you to enter an activation key in it. So that's the key thing. So there, that question I think is easily answered. The next thing he is having a tough time doing is filling out an order. All right, so a couple things you want to do here. See where it says options? Click on that key and go here. First thing you want to do is realize that there is a whole selection here of things that you can adjust. These are the options. So the first thing you got to do before you enter a trade in is actually, what account are you using? Is it Ninja? Is it TD Ameritrade? Is it Interactive Brokers? Is it Fidelity? So card accounts is where you want to go here. Now, you come down to this box here and you click on add value after you type in the account. So let's do that together. Let's just type in test account. Now, you can type in anything you have here. If you want to type in a TD Ameritrade with an account number, you could do that. If you have more than one brokerage account, you can specify which one by just typing in something that means something to you. All right, so that's how you do it. And then you click add value, and now you'll see the test account will now be added to the active card accounts. So you've just added the account, which was one of your questions. The next thing here, I think on one of your questions is, where is the database? Well, the database is down in this area here. All right, let me just see if there's any specific questions on that. All right, yes. So here's the database path. As a default, we put that in the app roaming area under your username, okay? And so basically, you usually go to the C drive, then go to users, find your name, then go to app data, roaming, and then look for the Trader's Assistant, open the folder, and it's called the Trader's MDB file. Now, a very important thing, if you're gonna go look for this file, is that in Windows, I think by default, what it does is it hides your folders and applications to system files, okay? So you need to turn those on. So you need to go to your settings window and then type in hidden folders, click OK, and it will open up a little box, and you can go down into that box to where it may have checked hide your folders or uncheck it, depending on what it says. So you want to uncheck those so you can actually physically go into the Explorer and actually find the database file. Why is that important? Well, you may have some backup software that you want to back up this file with, and so you need to be able to find the file with the backup software, and you won't be able to if they're hidden. So you have to unhide those, okay? So that's basically just a generic Windows thing. If you don't know how to do that, Google Windows unhiding folders, and you can read about how to do it. All right, so that's really not something specific to the Trader's Assistant, except the Trader's Assistant database file has to be uncovered by Windows. All right, so there's the path right there. All right, and you can change that. You can move it to another folder. This is the clear database. You do not want to click on that unless you want to wipe out the database. All right, so if you do that, it'll wipe out everything. So don't do that unless that's what you want to do. And so there's that part of it, okay? So then you save this. All right, the next thing we do is we notice we have tabs up here. We have a worksheet, an open, closed, and notes. Now we have no trades entered in yet under this specific account. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's add, we've got to click on add, and that will bring up the trade posting card. All right, so let's take a look at, first thing is the instrument. Now, are you trading futures or stocks? Let's just do stocks and keep it simple. Let's just say, let's just pick out Microsoft. This, of course, will be a test. I'll just make up a price. Direction. All right, first thing you want to know, are you going long or are you shorting the stock? Now, if you're trading futures and you're selling, that would be also short, okay? If you prefer to add something new, if you want to say sell instead, you could create a new field there. All right, so let's just say we're going to go long. Now, the next thing the card asks you is, what time frame are you basing this trade off of? The reason we ask this is because when you go back in time and start analyzing your trades, this information is extremely helpful to know what time frame you were most successful on. And so let's say you're doing a trade based off a daily chart, so it's a position trade. All right, so let's say we open the trade today. We'll leave this closed trade because we're not going to close it yet. Trade type. Now, is this an asset for an option? In other words, like a covered call? Is this a long-term investment, short-term speculation, bottom fishing? Would you rather create a new field? Okay, so you could do that as well. Maybe it's a PTF trade. Maybe it's a Elliott wave trade. Whatever you want to call it, you can do that. Or you can just say it's short-term speculation versus a long-term. The next important area is the point value. Now, the point value here is really important. For stocks, ETFs, it's always going to be 1. If you're trading, for example, let's just say you're trading the micro E-mini. That's a futures market. Well, the micro E-mini point value is 5. So you replace the 1 with a 5. And the reason it's 5 is because there's 4 ticks in the MES, and each tick, okay, is $2.50, right? Okay, so there you have it. Or 125 rather. Okay, so it's $5 for the entire value. All right, the account here, you want to choose test account. All right, again, if you have multiple accounts, you can choose that test account. Now, this is really important here. So when you're getting ready to trade, you may not have it filled yet, right? So the status here is going to be placed. So let's say we're placing a trade. We're entering the trade with our broker. Let's say we want to select shares. Now, if you're using contracts for futures, do that. Options down here, okay? So shares there. Let's say for generic purposes, we're going to go in with 1,000 shares. So we put 1,000. Signal name, okay? Maybe it's an art pyramid, whatever you use. Let's just pick an arbitrary price. Let's just say 125, okay? And estimated commissions we'll say is $5. All right, now, if we save that and don't fill anything else in, we put that down. Notice it showed up on the worksheet right here. It is not on the open, it is not on the closed. Why? Because the trade has not been filled or closed yet. So let's go ahead now and open the trade. Let's say we get filled. All right, so we get filled at 1,000 shares. Okay, let's just say we get filled at the 125 price. So we put a limit order in. All right, and the commission we're going to say is $5. So now on the commission, if it's $5 round robin for both the entry and the exit, then you don't need to put in a commission on the sale. If you want to use $2.50 for the entry and $2.50 for the exit to create the $5 commission, you can do that. It doesn't really matter, whatever you want to do. All right, so whatever you pay, I think on the initial entry is what you should put in there. For now, we'll just use $5. All right, so now we've got an entry in, but there's one very important step that most people miss. You see where that says placed? You've got to change that to open. If you do not change it to open, you will not see the trade in the open tab. So definitely make sure you do that and then click save. All right, so now it stays on the worksheet for the day so we can see what's going on for today. But now look, it's in the open area. Okay, it's not in the closed area, just the open and the worksheet now. Okay, Now, let's say we're trading along, we're open, and we want to take a look at potential stops. All right, so we got in at 125. So we did our analysis and we think our stop needs to be at the bottom of the pyramid. So we'll select here, and it's going to be a sell, and we're going to make this for 1,000 shares. And the price we want to get out is let's just say 112. How's that? Okay, and so we'll add that. Okay, so there you are. We're all set there. So now we add. Okay, and that now is there, and we save that. So now, when you take a look at your open trades, now you can go right in and not only look and see what price you were filled at, 125, but take a look and see where the potential stop is. Now notice it says potential. These are the actual exits. This is just reminding you at what price you're going to get out at, okay? And it's 112.00. That's what you want to remember. Now, let's say now we decide we want to put in maybe a scale out, okay? We'll call it a scale out, our pyramid, okay? And maybe we want to get out of 500 shares, okay, at 118, okay? So we'll do that. So let's say, okay, so now we save that. We're not out yet, but the order has been entered in with the broker. All right, so now we open this back up. We go to our trade exit, and the order just got hit. So now we're out 500 shares. So we want to put that here, okay, at an exit price of 118. And you can put your commission in or put 0 in, because you know when you finally get out, you'll have $5, but let's just put $1 in and save that. Okay, so now we're out a certain amount. So let's go back in, okay, and take a look at the trade exit details. Okay, there we are. All right, so now we move our stop up. So let's say we now have a new stop that we want to use for the rest of the 500 shares. So let's do that. And this stop is going to be, let's say the actual market moved up in our direction, so we're doing good. So now we're going to save that, and there it is. Okay, so now you click on it again, and now we get stop down, the additional 500 shares. So now we got 500 shares here. We put the price we got in and out at 140, not in, out. Okay, so there that is. And the commission is $4 on that. All right, let's just say $4. Okay, so now we're out. Okay, so now if we go in here, we're out. Now, the next thing we got to do, see where it says open? We're out of the position, right? So we got to close this. Now we have it closed. Now, another thing we may want to do is go into the notes area and write our notes on how the trade went. We can also take a screenshot of the chart to see where our entry and where our exit was. And if you hit add here, you can add that screenshot right to the card. So that card can contain all that good stuff. All right, so now notice when I clicked on save after selecting closed in the pending trade area, it removed it from the open positions. It's gone. Now, if we go under here, close trades, you have to select the date, okay? And then you have to select the right account. And I'm gonna say I have a $100,000 account because this is where you put your account size in. All right, so very important here in the closed trades area. You have to select the right account. That's step one. Step two, for the trades you wanna look at that have been closed, select the correct date, because you may have trades from 6 months ago. You may or may not want to see those in this analysis. If you do, then create the from date, go back as far as you want. So for example, let's say you're looking at your results for a week, then you want to go, the from date's got to be a week ago to the current date. If you want to analyze the entire quarter, go back 3 months. That's how it works. Okay, these fields you can pretty much leave alone. And then finally, make sure when you first start using it, you put in your starting account balance. Okay. So now I'm going to hit select, and here's the trade I just closed. Okay, so let's open up here. Here's the trade posting card. So I always have that available. But then there's more information. We can look at the scorecard. Okay, there's the information for the scorecard. We did one trade. We made $3,990. Okay, we had no losses. All right, so our win ratio is 100%, and our payoff percent P&L is 3.99. Okay, and so that's in our total commissions we ended up paying was 10 bucks on that. Equity curve starts plotting, and then you have the risk to reward calculator here that you can put in your win ratio and payoff ratio, and that's the amount you want to risk on each and every trade. Okay, so this over time, the more trades you do, the more you start building statistics. And so what I want to show you here recently from March 31st, 2022 up to 4/21/2022, so a little under a month. This is from our day trading room where we meet twice a week and 2 hours a day, 2 hours each session. And we start with a $100,000 account. We're up to 103,663.25. And this is all the statistics and how we do such a great job with risk control to get these kind of returns. But this is the information that the trader's assistant will do for you when you start entering more and more trades. So I think by going through that example, I think I answered all of your questions. And of course, if you have any more, let us know. If you're using the trader's assistant, let me know. Oh, okay, we've got a couple people using it, doing great with it. Yeah, we use it in the day trading room. Okay, so it's I think last year we had hundreds of trades, and kept a great job, did a great job keeping track on that. Now, when you're trading futures, don't forget you have to change the point value. So once you get the hang of using it, it's really quick. Oh, one more thing I'll show you here. Now, let's just say, for example, also, if we're entering a trade in and we've already closed it. So let's say I want to put a little history in. So what you want to do is under status, you can start out right with a closed trade, okay? And then just put the results in and hit save after you get your entries. All the exits have got to go under the trade exit. You cannot put the exits in here. They got to go under here, okay? And the reason we give you 3 possible exits is because you may scale out a couple times. So we give you that 3. Now, the other thing you should know is for record keeping, it's first in, first out, right? So the idea is, let's say you put a trade in for 1,000 shares and you get 500 filled at 125 and 500 filled at 126. You're going to need to fill out 2 separate trade posting cards, one for one price and one for the other. Okay, so that's really important. And then when you close the trade, you got to put the stops in that you use for the entire position and distribute it among the 2 cards. That way you get first in, first out accuracy. Okay, so that's kind of important.
Serving traders worldwide since 1998, TradersCoach.com provides educational services for traders and investors alike. We have developed trading software to help traders of every level improve their skills. Our site is dedicated to providing you with all the resources, software, and educational material you need to achieve your trading goals. It is because of our years of experience, attention to detail, and our exceptional customer service that TradersCoach.com is the right choice for you. Call us today.